Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you are notified when we upload new video content, which is always going to be on a regular basis. One of the first to view, first to like, first to comment, first to share, and all that good stuff there. Okay, so this is a review on TJ Jackson's debut solo EP. I'm actually surprised that it's taken him this long to do a debut solo EP. However, we move. Alright, so, and obviously there's reasons why it took that long. He's mentioned it in interviews and all that stuff there, so now he can do what he wants to do with his music career. But anyway, let's get into the artwork. The artwork is art. First and foremost, it is art. That's the only way I can explain it. It's because it's got his face, he's facing left, and there's like colors, like different colors, but it's not. It's how to explain it. I don't know really how to explain it because it's just art. That's the only way to explain it. Like, you'll see it. It's just art, basically. It's very impressive as well. But anyway, the EP, by the way, is called Obsession. And yeah, so there's basically 5 tracks in the EP. And he's done videos for a few of these tracks, which was Insomnia, I Don't Deserve This, and I Can't Stand It. So I've seen those videos. In fact, no, I haven't. I've seen Insomnia, and I've seen I Don't Deserve This, but I'm not sure if I've seen I Can't Stand It. I probably have. I'm not too sure. But anyway, but Insomnia is a catchy track. So is I Don't Deserve This. Because even when I say it, even when I actually say the words, I don't deserve this, in my head already, I've got the hook in my head. Any artist that can do that to any person, they're a genius. They are a genius. Yeah? Because when it comes to music, and the same thing with Insomnia as well, like if you can do that with more than one track, especially from one project, you're a genius. Like, you're very artistic, very creative, and it's a good thing because it shows that your music, like, is coming from the soul. When it comes from the soul, people feel it, people respect it more, and all that stuff there, and it does have a lasting impact in years to come. And the good thing about a couple of these tracks, especially like Insomnia and I Don't Deserve This, from what I remember, is, and I think I Can't Stand It as well, it has that sound where it's just timeless. Like, it reminds me of like the 90s R&B soul music. That's what it genuinely reminds me of. Genuinely. Also, number one fan with that song there. Now, that took me back to the days where he was in 3T. Now, I didn't want to do this, but I have to because the song actually reminded me of this. But that's good because it shows that, you know, he still can create that similar sound, if that makes sense. Obviously, you've got the other tracks that are more adult R&B contemporary, but then the number one fan, even though it's somewhat of adult contemporary R&B, it's still R&B, but it's like, it's that, like, it's, how can I put this into words? It's like with some artists or some groups, they tend to genuinely have their own sound. For example, Soul Solid Crew, it's like you can't really say they're garage and you can't really say they're grime, but they birthed grime. They helped birth grime. But if you listen back to their songs now, it's like it wasn't really garage. There were some songs that were garage, but then, and there were some songs that were hip hop as well, but there were some songs that were grime, but at the same time, they really had their own sound. So back to TJ Jackson, it's like with 3T, for example, I believe they had their own sound together. I don't know what it is, but yeah. And Obsession, reminded me of another artist, which TJ Jackson has also worked with, along with one of his brothers. And let me find the song if I remember correctly. I think it's called Perfect. I'm pretty sure it's the song I'm thinking of because it reminded me of that. Oh, it hasn't even come up. Okay, I'll probably put in the wrong artist. And it wouldn't be surprising if TJ Jackson's not even on it. And he's not even on the song. Amazing. Because the song was called Perfect Fit. So we've got B. Howard, Taj Jackson, Terrell Jackson, and Jason Edmonds. Like, that's a banging song. Like, seriously. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that song a little bit, but also it also reminded me of another song that B. Howard did. Like, I feel like the second generation, they I don't want to say they sound similar, but they have a similar what's the word? They have a similar stance, if that makes sense. Like a similar like they're all their individual selves. Don't get it twisted, but if you were to compare to the first generation, it's like even I'll mention in another review, and I don't want to say it too tough, but the first generation, like with their siblings, so they're gonna have similar styles in a way. Do you get it? It's gonna happen. Yeah, genetics are genetics. So with this particular song or Obsession, it's like with B. Howard, like obviously this to do with TJ Jackson, but with B. Howard, he has a particular sound, if that makes sense. Like when it comes to like an up tempo type of song, he's like, you know, it's him. So I don't know if he's behind the production because he has worked a lot with the Jackson family anyway. So I don't know the situation. That could be the case, and that's probably why. I don't know. However, anyway, I've been going on for a bit now. But overall, you know what I normally do. I'm gonna go into one song or the title of the album, and with its if it's in context or out of context, then it is what it is. And I am going to use the song "I Don't Deserve This." Now, from experience, you know, being in relationships and situationships, there's been a couple where, in fact, there's been one in particular that's on my mind right now, where because I've have a certain level of standards, that, in fact, should I say the story? Yeah, I'll say the story. So, like, coming out of a relationship, and I was so used to a particular way, and even before that relationship with women, the way women are with me, you know, I ended up getting into another situation, another relationship, and like literally start straight after, and okay, things were going fine, you know, then the honeymoon phase was over, and after that, things were a bit wayward. Now, there's several reasons why they were wayward. One, because of how I was as a guy, as a man. Like, I wasn't practically a man, and I was still learning how do you be a man, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And to cut a long story short, you know, the way she was treating me or mistreating me, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I don't deserve this. Like, I've got standards, I'm used to a certain way. Like, I literally don't deserve this. And from growing up, I've always had a feeling of always getting my way. Like, I always get my way. I always get what I want. I always get what I need. You understand? Like, it is what it is. How I go about it or how I went about it, I honestly don't know till this day. But it just naturally happens. So, yeah, so I feel like when it comes to relationships, this is what tends to happen. Sometimes, whether it's the man or the woman, either one it feels like one of the two, one or the other is getting complacent, and then they feel like how they're being treated. You know, they don't deserve being treated that way. Do you get it? And yeah, so the only way for you to rectify this problem, and what I did, yeah, which actually helped build this course, is basically I learned how, not only just how relationships actually work, but I learned how to be a man. You know what I mean? Not just how to be a man, but how to be a thoroughbred alpha male. Once that happened, the dynamics of the relationship changed to the point where you, like, from the outside looking in, you can tell she was a dominant woman, like she was an alpha female. Now, an alpha female and an alpha male are going to clash. So a relationship is not going to work. Yeah? Not long term anyway. It's just not going to work. Yeah, because she wants control, I want control. Yeah, so we have to end the situation, end the relationship. Now, there's certain things, like in that process, I was still learning more about how to be an alpha male and all that stuff there. So I wouldn't say I was all the way a thoroughbred alpha male or stuff like that. But in life, nothing happens overnight. Everything, you know, when it comes to changing your character or changing your habits, it's going to take a bit of time, and that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Just think of it like a butterfly, right? If, like, with butterflies, what happens? They actually go in a cocoon for however long, and then after that, they come out as a butterfly, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. That's how it works. So you have to. So with you now, what you need to do is go into your cocoon phase. Whether you're a man or a woman, you got to go into your cocoon phase. And once you learn what your cocoon phase is, which is just basically learning all the piece of vital information you need to learn on, you know, if you're a man, you learn how to be a thoroughbred alpha male, and also learn how relationships work and your personal mission on earth, and you go on that. You learn about that as well, so I say. And then, and you go on that path as well. And if you're a woman, you'll also learn what your personalized mission on earth is as well. But also you learn exactly how to be a pure feminine woman and how relationships actually work. And then once you've got all of that information and everything is, you know, pieced together, you end up breaking out of that cocoon and you start flying in the direction that you're supposed to go, naturally and organically. Yeah, so what I strongly recommend is you click the link in the description box below where it says become a member of the Akabulan Trust. When you do that, you'll get access to online courses such as Roles and Relationships. That's where you're going to learn, you know, how to be a thoroughbred alpha male and how relationships actually work. And if you're a woman, you learn how to be a pure feminine woman and how relationships actually work as well. Plus, you'll get access to online courses such as career and business. And that's where you're going to learn how to know what your true personalized mission on earth is, what your true purpose is, and be on that mission. So, but before I get into anything else, the EP is, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because I want more tracks. I don't want an EP, I want an album. So, if TJ Jackson, if you're watching this, make the album and don't make it 10 years or a year or 2 years. Like, need more music, more of that R&B, adult soul, contemporary music, that vibe. Get me? Show these people what it's about. But yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. And the link to the EP is in the description box below. And if you've got any questions, any topics you'd like for us to discuss, leave that in the comment section below. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know, the video you suggest might just be next.